Hi manifestors, Meera Allen here with your Manifesting Destiny Moon Update. We are coming to a full moon in Sagittarius. And you guys know, for those of you that watch for a long time now, I love Sagittarius. I always have, I always will. I just love the concept of horse and man together in that centaur, and the fact that he's the searcher of truth, aiming for the stars, for those lofty highest ideals, and holding that bow and arrow firm, yet with the agility of action to make things happen. Well, that was an introduction for this full moon in Sagittarius that I didn't know it was going to come through. And the sun, of course, in the opposing sign of Gemini, that lovely air sign. Happy birthday to all the Geminis out there, the great communicators of the world and the great analyzers of the world as well. Let's start with the times. So we have New York, 3rd of June at 11:41 p.m. We have LA, the 3rd of June at 8:41 p.m. We have Sydney, Australia, 4th of June at 1:41 in the afternoon. And London, 4th of June at 4:41 a.m. And if you need to look up your place in the world, just Google where your full moon is and you'll find out. Alrighty. So this particular moon update, I really wanted to share with you more about the bigger picture. What's going on for the bigger picture of the world? What's going on for the bigger picture collectively? And how is that affecting you on the micro? So remember, the way I do these updates are always intuitive. With the macro and micro, how are they working symbiotically? You know, what we see in the greater outer world is what we are seeing and feeling within us in our day-to-day lives. What you see with the collective consciousness over, millions of people, what they're going through. And that's the same thing as you go down to the micro, to the one person inside yourself, what you're going through in the broader sense of humanity. And that's what Sagittarius does. It makes us look at the humanity. It zooms us out from our micro world to the immediate surroundings of your area, your suburb, your location, into that bigger space of your state or your province, and then it moves you out into your country, and then it moves you from your country into a global scale, and then it looks beyond that even more, and it reaches for the stars and for the mysteries and the adventures and the unknown. And I think that is really an important part of us to explore, especially as collectively and consciously on planet Earth, we're going through so many shifts, like big shifts since the first round of COVID and all the pandemics and all these kinds of things. I wanted to choose a card for you guys to set the tone. And I do like working with this deck. It's the Light Oracle card deck from Rebecca Campbell. And no, I'm not sponsored. I just really like her stuff. So we're just going to take a moment asking for the collective consciousness, the macro, the micro, the truth searchers in us, the centaur within all of us that is adventuring to that true space. Felt that card go. What does the collective consciousness need to know? Ooh. Wow. The crumbling. That's an intense card. The crumbling. What are you clinging to? This really resembles the Tower card. Have a look at that. See this right up the top, this laser beam, and this like clarity into this beautiful amazingness, but the crumbling of the systems, the crumbling of the concrete, the crumbling of the old mindsets, the crumbling of even governments, and seeing belief systems being thrown about. I am going to grab the book and see exactly what comes up in the actual book that may resonate. Alrighty. The crumbling. What are you clinging to? There's a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on a shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to society as a whole. Again, that macro, micro. So you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. And when you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. That's funny because it's a fire moon. Sagittarius ruled about the element of earth. Sorry, the element of fire. You are being called to surrender, to stop trying to hold it all together, loosen the grip, and let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend that everything is okay? You have what it takes to allow what is falling away to tumble and fall. Again, that feeling of the Tower card from the tarot. Once the tower has crumbled, you'll be able to rebuild your home on solid ground with mighty foundations and a view that is so magnificent that it'll take your breath away every morning. Kali, the goddess of destruction, or the Black Madonna, are with you now, laid all on their altar, and they can hold it all. And the inquiry question is, what are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? That's massive. Alrighty, so I really feel like the collective, in terms of humanity, we are all crumbling. There are so many things that I'm watching. So I don't watch the news very often, but sometimes you get it up on my YouTube feed and you see what's going on in the world and you just think, oh, does this even make sense? Does any of this make sense? The woke movement and all of this, like, we can't even have comedy without things being politically correct. I miss the 90s. Anyway, that's my rant on that. So take that either for your macro or for your micro. What do you need to let go of? And then the second part of today is going to be from the Moonology deck. I'll show you that one. Letting the Moon Be Your Guide from Yasmin Boland, another Australian reader who I absolutely adore. Again, I'm not endorsed. I just think they're awesome. So we're just going to ask from the full moon in Sagittarius, what do we need to know for this full moon in Sagittarius with the sun in Gemini? What is the best guidance as we go through our crumbling, as we're letting go and shedding things of the past and old paradigms? What will assist us? Literally, don't let your past hold you back. And it's in the South Node. So that's really clear. We're all in a massive shift this new moon in Sagittarius, where we're holding our own bow and arrow to our goals that we know innately. And now it's time to really, really let go of literally what is holding us back. Don't let the past hold you back. How do you move into that North Node? For myself, I have a North Node in Virgo, so for me it's getting all those little details in order for myself. So if you do know your chart, or if you don't know your chart and you need your chart done, send me an email. I will have room for doing charts for a little while. But yeah, so look at your chart and see where your South and North Node are. What is ruling you forward, North Node? What is holding you back into the past, your South Node? I am going to do the same thing and just have a little look back, although I feel that's pretty clear, of what it actually says in the book. And because I'm in this Sagittarius feeling, the searcher of truth. Let's see if I can actually find it. South Node. 14. Ooh, right at the very, very end of the book, almost the last couple of pages. Okay, the South Node is the karmic point, the opposite to the North Node. It relates to the past and even to past lives. Time to ask about how can we stop that old age programming, the old age conditioning that is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that situation or the relationship that you're asking about has become suffocating or even toxic. It suggests that someone, you even, needs to be released, that there's some kind of addiction going on or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you can be challenged to make some changes. Yeah, exactly. Like we had the Tower card from the other deck. Big changes. And even if staying where you are feels easier or safer, you are being still challenged to make the change. Attune to the moon right now and repeat, I release the past. I release the past. So if you complement that with the Sagittarius, the centaur, how does you hold your bow and arrow to look forward? You know, if you had the agility of a horse to gallop full speed to where you want to go, every aspect of your life, health-wise, home-wise, career-wise, whatever aspect, spirituality, how do you go gung-ho and go forward in that? Okay, here we go. Additional meanings for the card. A relationship is karmic and is played out across many lifetimes. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do something. The teaching is, the south node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going south. On the horoscope chart, it shows us that we are likely to become obsessed with something, but which will probably do us little or no good. The south node is our karmic and astrological point that reminds us of the well-known phrase, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Wow, isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And we're all guilty of that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to rewatch this video. I often rewatch my own videos and take my own advice and make notes and pretend that I don't know myself and listen. So share that with you guys. So yeah, have a look at what you've always done and what you've always got, and how can you change so dramatically from what you've always done so that you can move away from what have held you back in your new trajectory in this Sagittarius full moon with this Gemini in the sun, you know, like the sun in Gemini. And you think about the sun in Gemini, that's that air sign that's having that analysis and that communication. But then you think about Sagittarius and it's like, right, let's just hell for leather move forward when we know exactly what it is that we want to go for, and just go for it. And really with that precision, holding that bow and arrow and aiming very clearly for what you want, rather than letting the past infiltrate what it is that you've always got. So two very opposing forces, a little bit of crumbling going on. I hope you're all okay. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay sane. It's an interesting time of the world. You know, if you feel, I feel like to share this, you know, if you feel like you don't know your own self deeply enough, this is something that you need to work on. I mean, I've been hearing a lot about this challenge where people are like, they're not sure of their own identity, you know, whether it's a gender identity or career identity or who they really are. I think that is first and foremost the thing that we need to focus on. For me, it's definitely been at a soul level, some deeper soul work that needs to be done. And my guru is coming from India, and I'll be flying down to Sydney to spend some time in that grace with an actually enlightened living soul on planet Earth, which is kind of rare these days, because there's a lot of dross, there's a lot of muck, there's a lot of energies in the mind that are taking us away from our soul level, and it's trying to get us in this sticky mind mess and taking us away from our natural self. And now's the time that we get to tune back into our natural self. We get to tune into that soul level self, and just like the centaur does, hold that bow and arrow to the star of the goal that you know innately your soul is here to accomplish, achieve, and live. You know, wish as if you were the wish, and so it is. So that is my strong Sagittarius message. And I've got to pack myself together. I've got my suitcase lying here and hurriedly got to get myself together. Have a beautiful, beautiful full moon in Saggy, and happy birthday to all the Geminis. Communicate in your inner dialogue well. Namaste, I'm Meera Allen. If you have not shared, share this video. If you have not subscribed and done the bell thing, do the things. Please just do the things. If you want to comment a thing, if you want to ask a thing, I will attend to this channel and write back to you guys. So yeah, help me out. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.